Okay, today's video is about a 2007 Volkswagen Polo. The customer is complaining about the both front windows doesn't work and the central locking on the driver's door doesn't work. Basically, from inside the car, the central locking, when you press the button on the inside the door, all the central locking works, including the driver's door. But when you get off the car and try to lock the car from outside, it doesn't lock, basically, because this car doesn't have a remote control. It's just a normal key blade. So once you close the door and try to lock it from outside, it's supposed to lock all doors, but it doesn't do that and only locks this. So the problem we have is the central locking on the driver's door, and both front windows doesn't work. This car doesn't have a the windows at the back are the manual. It's not electric. So reason I'm making this video is this car, there is issues because I see a lot of these issues online, and it could be anything, to be honest. It's not a common fault with these, and mostly what I find out is people got problem with these wiring on the doors. So what happens is the wires just break up and lose connection, and then so nothing works on the doors. But the thing with this car was all the buttons, the central locking on the door was working. The mirrors, it's got electric mirrors, the electric mirrors is working, and when you press the button from inside for central locking, the central locking on the door is working. It's just not working from outside. So another thing was, when I put the machine on, there is no fault code. There's literally zero fault code on the car, so you don't know where to look at. So I thought it would be a good video. If somebody has the same problem, they can have it. So after investigating for an hour, I find out that anytime this wire here, so the fuse, it was blowing the fuse. So after replacing the fuse, the car is keep blowing the fuse. So I found out it's because of this wire. So when I cut this wire, it didn't blow the fuse. So the problem was somehow this motor was the problem. So when you disconnect this and then put the fuse there with this cable connected, it doesn't blow the fuse. As soon as you connect this cable to connect this socket, and then this cable is connected as it should, it blows the fuse. So the problem was this motor. The actual motor is fine, but this one, this is a door control module. So basically there's a little ECU, and on top of this is the motor, and there's an ECU that if you lift these pins, the ECU comes out. So we got an ECU here, little ECU here, and then we got the motor. So the problem was this, but the funny thing was there's no fault code at all. The car doesn't give me no fault code. And so what I try to do, another thing I want you to know is I replaced the motor already. So that's the second hand new one that I put on there. So this is second hand, but it's the one I just bought, and this is the old one. So I went with the part number. So once you go through this part number, what I find out is, see that 6Y195, if you go with the part number, if you get the exact same part number, you don't need to program it. But if you get a different part number, it might not fit, or if it fits, it needs programming. So if you don't have equipment to program it, just go with the same part number if you want to get second hand. So I went for a second hand because the new one wasn't available. They told me it's going to take about 3-4 days to come, and the scrapyard next to me had the second hand exact same part number. It was cheap enough, so I said, why not, let's try. So I replaced this. I haven't finished the job yet, but I'm just going to explain. If anyone has problem with both front windows not working from the bottoms, and you have a central locking problem on the driver's door, this could be your issue. So try to, if you find the second hand one cheap enough, same part number, if you want to change it yourself, it's easy to change. Just take the door cards out, and then it's got three screws. It's got 3 screws, and you just take the screw and then you just replace it if you find the second hand one cheap enough. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching.